question. Did she take my husband? Baby, if I still wanted the man, she would never have had him. I left. I literally run. Okay? I gave her a husband. You have to really have some guts to call somebody's mother a witch. You really have to have some guts. The now wife said, oh, referring to me, I left because I couldn't take the spirituality and da da da. Baby, all those 5, 6 hours, 10 hours prayers, I've done it. Okay? I've lived that. Like I said, I met this person in church. So if I couldn't take it, I would have left then, right? Okay. So don't play yourself. Don't play yourself. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Yes, it's been a long time. Okay, I haven't uploaded any video all year. Such a shame, and I'm sorry. This year honestly going by so fast that I can't even catch up. Like, that's how bad it is. I have videos, I have vlogs that I need to edit, and that has become the roadblock. Okay, but unfortunately this is gonna be my first video of the year, and this is not even the type of videos that I do, but unfortunately this is gonna I feel like I had to do this video. I have to address some things. Not the type of videos I do. My videos, if you've been following me for a while, you know my videos are all, my channel is all about travel, lifestyle, fashion, all the good stuff. But today I feel like I have to talk about something. Okay, so bear with me. And I'm not a talker, if you know me, but I have to do this. From the title, this video is going to be me sharing my truth. Okay, so let's start. Let's get into it. And you're gonna need some wine. Okay, so I have my glass of wine here. You guys want the tea? I'm gonna give you all the tea. Okay, for a very long time I have not wanted to talk about the past. Pretty much, I've not wanted to address anything. If you follow me on social media, I will post stuff here and there, but I feel like I've never really talked about it. Okay, so you guys probably wonder, what is this girl talking about? Okay, so let me start from the beginning. Some of you may know, some of you may not know that I was married before. Traditionally married. I'm Ghanaian, so the traditional marriage is pretty much considered the main marriage. So I think it's like 11 years now. Yeah, 10, 11 years, maybe even more. Like, listen, I literally blocked my memory. Okay, so yeah, I think after we did the traditional marriage, after we got married, we broke up 6 months after, pretty much. Yeah, but we were together for over 2 years. I think we were together like almost 3 years. And I am addressing this now because over the years I hear stuff, and I just don't care about it, don't address it, nothing. But recently something happened. If you're on social media, we'll get to all that. But something happened and people are like talking, asking questions. And then I came to realize people have the wrong narrative of what happened. Because these people have run with whatever they run with. They have made up all these stories. And over the years, I would hear like, this, that, but I never felt the need to address it. But some of the things I'm hearing are like pretty new to me. And I'm just like, what? Like, you guys have no idea. Like, I never addressed anything back then. And so they run with whatever they run with. They said whatever they said at that time, even till now. And so people ended up believing those. And the reason why I never knew exactly what was going on, because I honestly wanted to forget everything. So I will literally not watch. And if I'm on social media, I see these people immediately scrolling away. Anybody that was associated with them over the years, blocked, removed. Like, you guys have no idea. I felt like I needed that. Okay, like I feel like nobody, until you're trapped, until you feel stuck, okay, and you finally are able to be free, you will never understand. Like, my freedom was so important to me that when I got out, that was it. I didn't look back, never looked back, never wanted to. That was the only thing that was important to me at the time. So I did not care about anything. Like, the most important thing to me was feeling sane, feeling okay. Like, yeah. So I feel like that's one of the reasons why I never and it was a healing process. It was a journey. You know what I'm saying? Like, I needed that. I needed to be far, far away from these people. So I'm gonna start from the beginning, okay? Like I said, you're gonna need some wine or popcorn or whatever. Grab some. So I'm gonna start from the beginning, how we met. So I met this man in church, okay? And I'm gonna address all that. I have a few questions here that I need to address. So we met in church. When I first moved to America, we lived in the Bronx, White Plains Road, and funny enough, there was a Ghanaian church right behind where we lived. Okay, so me and my sister were like, okay, we're gonna check it out. So we started going there. It was literally a walking distance, like literally, I'm not no joke, 2 minutes, like just around the block on 229th and White Plains Road. So we started going there. It was a Ghanaian church. It was a woman pastor. Her husband had just died. And so she took over the church. They were nice, and that's where I met this man. Okay. I don't remember what year it was. Mind you, we had just came to America. No lie, we had came to America maybe like 2 years or even less than 2 years. Me and my sister, me and my little sister. So I met this man in the church. The first time he literally saw me when we spoke. He was like he knew he was gonna marry me. That's another story for another day. Okay, nothing serious in the beginning. We're all in church. I'm here to go to church. Da 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 da. I like the church. So as time went by, I think we started getting closer. We started talking, stuff like that, and that's how it started. Boom. This had to be. Oh, I believe this was like 2020. This was like 2009 or 2010. So yes, that's how we met. And I am going back to how we met to address a video that I saw recently. I don't know how long this video has been out, but I saw it recently. Of the now wife talking about how he met somebody in 2 months and were married. That's a lie, okay? That's a lie. You have no idea what you're talking about. I knew this man for more than 2 years, 2 to 3 years before we got married. So I don't know where you got that information from. I'm gonna try to insert that video somewhere.
I forgot about him. Maybe 2 months went by, and my friend messages me, and she's like, "Oh, I see Dominic at this family gathering, and he's with a girl." And I was like, "It is what it is. I don't care. Whatever." Some few months pass by, and another girl sends me a YouTube link, and she's like, "Watch this." And then I hear the young lady, she's like, "Hi, I just want to thank my fiance for helping me." And I'm like, and she's like, "My fiance, Dominic." And I was like, yeah, just like that. He was. So I thought that was
Did you feel bad?
Oh, I did. And one thing
Bad or jealous? Both. Mixed. Together.
Yeah. So that's that. In the same video, there were parts where she talked about maybe I couldn't take the spirituality or da 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 da. We'll get to that. But yes, we met in church. So clearly, clearly I am into church. Okay, I met this man in church. Um, and that was one of the things that actually drew me to him. Okay, when I met this man, the age difference, I think the age difference is about 7, 8 years. Okay, so this is somebody that wanted to get married. Okay, quick advice: sometimes, ladies, it's not like the man loves you so much, or it could just be that he's getting older and just needs to get married or just needs to settle down. Okay, it's sometimes not even about you; it's about him. It's about him wanting to get married. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so fast forward to, and okay, during the course of the relationship, um, it wasn't always, just like every other relationship, it wasn't always rosy. It wasn't always good. Um, and I'm gonna keep referencing this video that I saw.
I'm trying to be the watchdog. But in my spirit, I'm like, I just need a hug from Dominic. Then I rebuked myself and I'm like, that's a married man. Like, I started rebuking myself in the hospital room. Like, I rebuke this, I rebuke this. Not knowing that that was around the time that things got a little shaky between him and the girl.
So over here, you can hear boldly how this woman said she was lusting after a married man because he was still married to me at that time.
When it was good, it was good. And we would come out and look perfect, literally. And I realized that's a lot of relationships, a lot of couples do that. But behind closed doors, yeah, it was not the best. So let me break down these people for you so that you guys can kind of understand. I would want you guys to watch the video that I am talking about where the wife now talks about certain things. Yes. So they both grew up in Brooklyn. So she definitely knew him before me, but she was younger. She went to school. And he moved out of Brooklyn because the the way she kind of set the whole story, it was like they were on and off and stuff like that. And I don't really understand all of that. But yes, she knew him when they were younger. He couldn't date her because she was younger at that time. Um, and I'm older than her, so even some of the parts where she talks about the age difference is a lie, is a little off, or whatever. So it's like when he couldn't date her because she was way younger. So she went off to college. She moved to the Bronx. Backstory: you guys know him and his brother were athletes. Basketball, NFL, whatever. It didn't work out. They wasn't able to go pro. Um, that's a story there too. So when I met this man, he had finished college, was working in finance, business, or whatever. That was his major. But personally, I feel like him and his brother were so used to the athlete side. They were so used to not wanting to work. Okay, like I was saying, during the course of the relationship, like the 2.5 years that we were together, and I'm glad the now wife kind of hints on these things that I'm about to say, or actually confirms some of these things that I'm about to say. Yeah, I feel like she always tells on herself anyway. And I've been saying this. But every time something will happen, every time we will fight, every time we will kind of break up like normal relationships, he will go back and talk to her. She was always on the side, waiting. Okay. So yeah, let's go back to. I have some questions here. I think I've addressed some. How long were we together? We were together for 2.5 years. We did the traditional marriage, and then that lasted for 6 months. So we had plans of doing the white wedding. We hadn't done that yet, and I'm kind of glad that we didn't, because I didn't have to go through like the whole divorce officially thing, court, all of that. I didn't have to do. We didn't have to do all that. So it's pretty simple. We just the families just told both families, and they annulled, you know, the traditional. I actually thought it was going to be so hard to do. Let's get to me talking about the course of the relationship. When I met this person, I was in school. Um, I started my little business back then when I met him. After I met him, he was very supportive, literally pushed me everything in the beginning. Um, and we would go out, we would do stuff together, and it got to a point where, and I feel like that's where her influence came in, or whatever, when they would talk or whatever. But it got to a point where it started becoming um a little unbearing, like you can't do this, you can't go here, you can't do that. And I'm like, okay, we were doing all these things. During the course of the relationship, there were good times and there were some bad times as well. And because we went to the same church, it always kind of made it harder. Like I said, he would always go back and talk to this person, and but for some reason, and that's why I'm very skeptical. Like church, I'm very skeptical about church people because of what I went through. Um, because there were instances where things will be really shaky, and I remember I would want to end it, da 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 da, but there will be a prophecy, okay? And I feel like they orchestrated all these things, all right? All of a sudden, there will be a prophet from Ghana, there'll be this, that, that, and they will basically come on the altar and confirm, oh, this is your husband, this is this, that, that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, well, Africans, you know how they do. So there were a couple of that, and that made me feel like, okay, this may be my husband. And so we moved forward, because first of all, I was still very young. I was still new in the country, and I felt like he kind of took advantage of that. I was naive. He wanted to get married, I think a year into the relationship or something like that. That's when he wanted to get married. Um, obviously was not ready. I was still in school, and I felt like we both was not even ready. But me being in love, me being rebellious, of course, at that age, when I told my mom was like, "No, wait till you finish school," as a mother would say. You know what I'm saying? So I moved from the house. So I moved from my mom's place, and I started living with this man. Okay. So once it got to that point, my mom was like, okay, if you want to get married, if you guys are already living together, da 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 da, if you want to get married, fine. So that's when we moved forward to do the traditional marriage. Um, and I feel like all of that, it was like I was rebellious. Like God was telling me no. Okay. But I was young. I was naive. Like I was listening to this man so much. Um I feel like that's when everything started, because okay, so fast forward, we do the traditional marriage. I don't remember what date, honestly. Like all of this I have blocked out of my mind. So we did that, went back to living together. Let's say I think we did that in the summertime, maybe like June or something like that. And then in December or January, we went to Ghana. Now, that's a story here. So, at that time, I still had a Ghana passport because, mind you, I had only been here for a couple of years. So, my Ghana passport had expired. Okay, this is where the mistake and everything just went left. And, so this is me addressing this question. How did it end? Okay. I feel like I'm jumping steps or whatever, but you guys just listen to the whole thing. It's all gonna come together. It's all gonna make sense. Um, so like I said, we got married in June. In January, he wanted to go to Ghana. Okay. So my passport had expired. I had sent it out to Washington. They renew it and mail it back to you. Okay. So we have booked tickets, waiting for the passport. I think it was during the holidays time, right? So the passport took a longer period of time. So I was told that I can still travel if I go to the embassy in I think downtown and get a letter. Okay, get a letter and I could travel to Ghana with it, but I can't come back with it. I will have to um get my passport. So the plan was to take the letter, and then once the passport came, because at that time his brother, yeah, we'll get to that. His brother was living with us. Okay, so his brother was supposed to receive the passport whilst we were in Ghana and mail the passport to Ghana so that I can travel back to America. Okay, that was the plan. So we get to Ghana. We get to Ghana. I think we're gonna be in Ghana for like a month, or even I don't know. I don't remember. Maybe like 3 weeks or a month. So we called the brother. Is the passport here? He said yes. Mail the passport so I can have my passport. Okay. Mind you, right before we went to Ghana, this man was. I think I didn't catch the signs because all of that has started before I went to Ghana. He was like, "Oh, don't tell your mom," and I didn't understand why. So yes, I had my green card. So yeah, I was gonna be able to travel with the green card and the letter, but coming back, you need a passport when you're coming back out from outside the country. Like it doesn't matter, you need a passport. The passport never made it to Ghana. Yeah, he claimed he mailed it, which I know he never mailed it. Never. Where's the tracking number? Nothing. He claimed he mailed it with I don't know with DHL or whatever. Till this day, I don't know where the new passport went. Okay, so now I had to go to the Ghana embassy and get a new Ghana passport. So I was like, your brother never mailed my passport. Like, what is going on? Like, where's my passport? You know what this man told me? This man opened his mouth and said, it's because I wasn't even thinking anything of it when, and I do that. Like, even to this day, I travel and don't tell my mom. It's really bad, but I do it because my mom is so scared of everything. Okay, so that's why I don't. So when, can you believe this man opened his mouth and said to me, that is because I didn't tell my mom. That's why my passport is missing. Huh? Huh? Like, what do you mean? And honestly, I feel like after the whole marriage, the man, everything changed. Because that's the point that when he said that, and then added on to say that my mom, or insinuated that my mom is a witch. So we got into it. I'm like, what do you mean? How dare you? How dare you? Because one thing with them, and we'll get to all that. One thing with them, everybody's a witch. Like the moment something does not go their way, you automatically become a witch. Like that's when I realized, you guys have a problem. You guys have a big problem. Because immediately something is off, a witch is chasing you. Immediately something there's a problem, it's got to do with the witch. Like what? What has I couldn't believe it. But it was at that point that I realized. And funny thing is, we had just came back. I think we went to a place in Ghana to pray, and after that, everything went left. Everything just went left. After that is when we were about to come. So I'm waiting for my passport, and everything was just like crazy. But it was at that point that I realized I had made a mistake. Yeah, it was at that point that I realized there's always been an issue. Like, you guys have a big problem. Everything cannot be related to a witch. Everything cannot be like what? What has my missing passport or not mailed passport have to do with the witch? Like, what is a witch gonna do with my Ghana passport? This is not even an American passport. Think about it. I had my green card. So it's like, even if you want to be so superstitious, what are they going to do with the Ghana passport? Absolutely nothing. No. It's like you are not addressing the real issue, which is your brother never mailed the passport. That's what the problem is. Okay. The witch cannot go and grab the passport from the mail. From the physical passport was never mailed. Okay, that's what the issue is, and we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to the brother because that's. I don't even think if we didn't have any issues, it would have worked out because I could not stand that brother for nothing. Okay, I could not stand him. And it was at that point that I realized that he had a problem with my mom. Only because my mom, remember, my mom had said, to me to wait and finish school before I get married. That's all she said. As any concerned mother would. Okay. I was 23. Going on 20. I was 24 at that time when we got married. As any concerned mother would say, wait, finish school before you get married. That's all she said. But it was at that point that he made that correlation between my mom and my passport. That's when I realized, oh, you have a problem with my mom. You do not like my mom because of what she said, and you're holding on to it. And I'm like, if you don't like my mom, oh, I'm about to drop my wine. How you don't like my mom, but you want to marry me, her daughter? How does that make sense? And that's how I felt. It was at that point that I felt this man was trying to take me from my family. Literally trying to take me away from my family. And no. Like, you cannot tell me my mother is a witch. Like, you're crazy. And that's when, and one thing about me, you're not about to. And exactly, during the whole course of the relationship, at some point, he realized he couldn't control me. So every time, the same manipulation you guys see now, it's always been there. Every time he'd be like, God said this. I used to tell him, God didn't say anything. If you want to say something to me, say it with your chest. That manipulate. I think it worked. It was working in the beginning, but at some point, everything just cleared over my eyes. So I would literally stand up to him like, God didn't say anything. God didn't say anything to you. The same way he talked to you, you could talk to me. Like, stop using God's name to try to control me, try to manipulate. Like, don't play with me when it comes to God. So at that point, I was like, no, this is not it. And that brother of his, I could not stand him for anything. Nothing. Because I've never seen anybody that is so um terrible. A terrible person. A terrible person. Today I'm gonna really tell you about these people. So they are the last two of their parents. The parents died, so their aunt brought them to America. Brought the last two kids to America. And I'm saying this because I feel like they did not have, they're the way they are because they did not have, because it takes a lot of guts for you to call somebody's mother a witch. Like, my mom is all I have. My mom is my everything. My mom raised the three of us by herself. If she was a witch, she should have killed me. Like, what do you mean? So to me, I respect mothers. I respect my mother. And I'm saying this to say, they did not have any parents, authority, motherly. I'm not even trying to be funny, but that's what it is. So their aunt brought them here. And the funny thing is, that aunt that brought them here, they had been calling a witch for the longest, ever since I met them. So you guys understand where every time an authority is like, it's like they have a problem with authority. You understand what I'm saying? Every time something does not go their way, oh, it has to do with the witch. No. And I'm going to tell you about that brother of his. He is even worse. Like, forget Dominic, okay? And Dominic's problem is the fact that he will protect his brother because that's his little brother. And I get that. He would not correct them. He literally protected everything that his brother would do. Or bet I don't know how to say it. He covers him, and that was not helping him. So that's when I realized, oh, I remember you even calling your auntie a witch. So of course, if you call my mom a witch, you have no reverence for authority. You have no reverence for the elderly. You have no respect. For example, I'll give you examples. That brother of his, do you know how many times he will do that? For example, your license is suspended. You should not be driving and driving recklessly at that point. Do you know how many times we had to go and bail him out of jail for driving without a license, driving over speeding, doing the same things, smoking weed?
Okay, so I later realized that the audio over here, I guess the microphone was not recording, which is very upsetting. But I'm going to do the voiceover to try to get, my point across here. I don't remember everything I said, but I think what I was basically saying was, yes, this person, the brother, would be smoking weed 1 minute, and then the next minute they want us to like pray for 5-6 hours. And I used to be like, are these people really for real? Like, are you for real? Like, you're wasting my time. Like, it was the hypocrisy for me, okay? Like, I remember times when we would have prayer, worships, or whatever, and this man would get on the altar and want to pray against stuff that he just did. Let's say fornication, like sex before marriage. And I used to be like, like, we were just having sex. And the next minute you're on the altar, like, preaching against these things. Like, the hypocrisy, the level of hypocrisy that these people have needs to be studied, because it doesn't match the stuff that they say and the stuff that they do behind closed doors. And I feel like all of those things were like signs that I couldn't. And yes, this was before we got married. So I remember I'd be so mad at him after church, like, really? You were there saying X, Y, and Z, but we're doing X, Y, and Z. Then you guys will come there and come and be praying against some witches. Nobody is chasing you. Like, you guys are even giving the witches power that they don't even have. The microphone is dead. Okay, so we're just gonna like, you were so worried about some witches
Meanwhile, you're your own problem. A lot of us, that's the, like, we are our own problem. No witch, no wizard, nowhere is chasing you. Yes, it's possible. Yes, but no. Most of the time, it's our own habits, our own attitudes, our own actions that puts us in the situation that we're in. Okay? So, yeah. Pretty much. Oh, yeah. And I used to be so appalled, okay, by the women that this man would date. Okay, like prominent women that were up here. I don't know how he was able to pull them. Like, and I'll say it, pastors' kids. He was getting women to take care of him. He had women that were renting a place for him to live in whilst he brought other women there. Okay, until until the one left. Then he would come live with us, which I hated, because why did we just get married and your stupid brother has to live with us? Even before we got married and after. Whenever his shit one left, he would have to come back and live with us. Okay, this man, like how you smoking weed 1 minute and the next minute you're praying, hey Baba, hey Baba, hey Baba. I used to be like, it's like the fruits of the spirit. Like the fact that you could pray for 5-6 hours or you have stamina to stand and pray, it doesn't mean you've been called by God. You guys are getting you guys don't even understand. The fact that you could stand and pray, it's just like people that could sing, people that could do this. It doesn't mean you've been called by God. Okay? And a lot of it even it's like it became a religion. You're not even Christ-like, pretty much. And that's what I realized. At some point, it was like a religion. Like they became so religious, and I'm just like, this is not it. This is not Christ-like. And so I believe in my heart that they have not been called by God. Okay, and I don't know if I mentioned earlier. I think I did the video, so I kind of these people were so used to being taken care of, and so I know for a fact is the motive behind opening a church. Okay, they've been around men of God. They've seen the lifestyle, the money, the power they have, and that's what he wanted. That's what they wanted. Okay, and I stand by that because I know for a fact that's what it is. Okay, I'm gonna answer some of these questions. I think I've answered some already. How long were we together? We were together for a total of like 2.5 years to 3 years. The marriage lasted for 6 months. Did I know the now said wife? Nope. But I know she was always on the side. Whenever shit will go left, he will go back and talk to her. How did it end? The last straw for me was him calling my mother a witch. Because like I said, my mother is everything to me. You're not about to call my mom a witch. And it was at that point that I realized, no, this is not it. This is not it. And so finally, when I got the new passport in Ghana and I got a new ticket, so we didn't even come back together. I came ahead of him, and on my way back on the plane and everything, I just knew I was about to pack my stuff and go home. So what actually happened was, because I hadn't lived back home for a long time, I didn't want to go back home, so I called my cousin. She had an extra room, like a little room, and I said, hey, because she kind of knew the stuff that was going on, because I would talk to her. So I called her. I said, hey, I'm coming to clean up that room and I'm moving in. Like, I am so done with this. And so yeah, I came, packed my stuff, moved back to the Bronx. I never looked back. I did not want to look back. And the funny thing is, after I left and everything, because I had been trying to get into nursing school whilst I was with this person the whole time. Immediately I came back to the Bronx, I was able to get into the school that I went to, moved on, and what was the other? Right, me realizing that this person did not want to work. He did not want to work for other people.
I think that's when the idea of having a church came about. And I realize now that, right, that's why he wanted to go to Ghana, because again, he had a sister back home who also said she was a prophetess, or it just had become too religious for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just wanted to live my life. Honestly, I just wanted to live my life. I realized that the motives behind doing all that extra stuff was malicious, pretty much. And I did not want to be a part of that. I did not want to be a part of that. And it's so funny how things are unfolding now, and I'm hearing all these things. One thing I would say, do I regret it? I don't regret it. It was an experience and it taught me a lot. Like, I'm very skeptical about churches nowadays because a lot be going on, okay? They be doing a lot, okay, of manipulation, a lot of using God's name. It's exactly what they're doing now. And my advice for a young woman in your 20s, live your life. Do not be in a rush to get married. It doesn't matter if the man wants to get married now. Live your life in your 20s. I feel like I missed out a little bit on my 20s because this person wanted to be married. No, you shouldn't be in a rush to get married. It's a long journey. It's a very, very long journey. And there is a difference between Christianity and religion. Okay. No wonder they're calling their church a cult. And I know for a fact that they are using a whole lot of manipulation. I've heard so many stuff. And I'm going to add some videos over here that was sent to me. I have people that go to the church, come back and tell me, or leave and then come and tell me all these stories. I've heard stories. This girl that came back and told me, oh, you're being attacked. That's an I'm being attacked. I've heard stories of them being preaching.
Hey, I know you like, oh God, trust me, I'm not here to contact you about any type of drama, but if you want, I don't know if you want to talk through WhatsApp or through here. I'm not really comfortable having voice notes through Instagram, but just let me know. So yeah, it's a lot. I was a church member there for 4 years, and the things that I know, you know, girl, you're being attacked, and I would not be a good person if I didn't open my mouth and say something.
Using our story to preach, saying all these things. I was told that this now wife has an altar. Yeah, I'm gonna say all that. And every attack that's gonna come my way is gonna come right back to you. Whatever you cause yeah, there be attacks. Okay, so apparently she has an altar where she has all these people's pictures. If she doesn't like you, this, that, she has a picture of you. It's so many freaking stories that I've heard. Oh, there was a question. Did she take my husband? Baby, nobody could take a man from me if I still wanted the man. Okay? So that's to answer that question. If I still wanted the man, she would never have had him. I left. I feel like people have it so wrong. They're like, oh, he left me for her. No, baby. I left. I literally run. Okay? And yeah, I realized we wasn't compatible. And I feel like they perfect for each other. So yeah, I gave her a husband. Okay? She could have never took a man from me if I still wanted that man. I did not want him. I wanted far away. If you know, yeah. So because I realized that's the narrative people have, and also especially because they got married literally a year after we broke up. So like I said, she was always on the side waiting, because her story doesn't even add up. You know what I'm saying? And it's embarrassing. I left, and I left for so many reasons. Okay, I left for so many reasons. One,
I realized I was gonna be miserable, okay? Because we were not on the same page after the marriage. Okay, so I felt like I was gonna end up the same way. I'm the firstborn daughter of my mother. So I've always been and I saw what she went through. So I've always been really had that in the back of my mind. Like, I don't want to end up like my mother. I don't want to end up like my mother. And that's exactly how I felt when I was in Ghana at that moment. You understand? Our straw was him calling my mom a witch. Because you have to really have some guts to call somebody's mother a witch. You really have to have some guts. And like I said, it was at that point I was like, no. You guys have no idea how it feels to feel like that. Like, I feel like nobody would ever be able to understand how I felt. Like, I'm good now. I may not be exactly where I'm at, but it's because some of us are doing things the legit way, okay? We are not manipulating people to get money. We are not doing XYZ. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm good. I'm happy. Life is good. Just being away from that is peace of mind for me. Like, you guys don't understand how much peace of mind is until you don't have it. Until there's so much chaos. Okay? And that is my testimony. That's my just being away from the chaos, just being free. And so yeah, I did not leave because I saw a part of the video that I referred to earlier where the now wife said referring to me, I left because I couldn't take the spirituality and da da da. Baby, all those 5, 6 hours, 10 hours prayers, I've done it. Okay, I've lived that. Like I said, I met this person in church. So if I couldn't take it, I would have left then, right? Okay. So don't play yourself. Don't play yourself. I left because of the manipulation and using God's name, da 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 da. And you talk about all the spirituality and all these prayers. You guys claim you're so prophetic and you're so this, that. You couldn't deliver your assistant that's sleeping with married men. The person that's right under you. You couldn't see that she sleeps around with married men. And the apostle or whatever couldn't deliver his brother after all the prayers that you guys pray. And you guys are so spiritual. The people right around you, you couldn't help them. You couldn't deliver them. But you're so powerful. You're so powerful. But the fruits that you're bearing it's not saying the same thing. It's not matching. It's not adding up. And God is revealing to redeem. I feel like the time has come. The manipulation has been going on for too long. And people are just getting tired of it. People are just leaving. And just exposing. You guys are actually exposing your own selves. For you to say that you buy rings for people. And that's the funny thing, because it's the fakeness and the... I remember my ring was bought from Overstock.com. If you remember, I don't think the website's still there anymore. But he put it in a Zales box. And women, we like to protect. You know what I'm saying? I knew that at that time. And that's why I gave that ring back. Because that ring was nothing. I was not going to keep the ring. It was from Overstock. Okay? So, like, all these things that they are doing, they still doing the same thing. All these fakeness, all these orchestrating stuff and making up stuff to deceive people. Like, it's so funny, and I feel like God does his things in his own timing. And I always say this: have your own relationship with God. You guys have to have your own relationship with God. It's so funny how I heard the whole church is full of like young people, youth, people going there for different motives because they think they're gonna get married.
people that don't have a relationship with God just lost and just following blindly. Because if you have a relationship with God, you'll be able to discern that this is not from God. This is not from God. And even if it was, okay, even if they were called, the moment the moment you start taking the praise and the glory for yourself, and we did this, God has left the building. It's like God has left the building. God has left the building because he will not share his glory with any man. You cannot have people's destinies in your hand. You're not God. And for you to even, that's what you people have to understand. And for somebody to even open their mouth to say that, it's like, what? And people bow down to, who the hell are you for people to be bowing down to you? It's like, and they have run with this narrative for so long. I'm going to conclude here, but this, I really needed, I felt like in my spirit that I really needed to clear the air. I needed to really, if you guys have any questions, comments, leave it down below. I'll try to answer. I don't think I want to do another video. I just wanted to do this once and for all and move on. Yeah, I don't got time. But that's it. Like, the wrong narrative is what I am not trying to condone or nothing like. Little advice, like I think I've said it, I'm gonna keep saying it. Do not let any man in your 20s, if you're in your 20s, do not let any man rush you because they're older, they want to be married. No. Take your time. I wish I took my time and enjoyed my 20s. But it's all good. Everything happens for a reason. You live and you learn. Like, I have moved on. I've healed. So, yeah, I can speak on this and clear the air and tell you guys my truth, the real truth of exactly what happened. And so I'm gonna end it here. I hope you guys like, share this video for anybody that wanted to know the truth. I think I've addressed a lot of the questions that I got. And stay tuned for my next video. I actually have a vlog to edit, a Bali and Phuket vlog. We're gonna get back into the usual. So watch out for those vlogs coming up next. But I felt like this video had to go first. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave me comments, like, share. You know, I hope you guys learned something from this, my story, my life. And thank you. I love you guys. Cheers.